This is the Realty Classroom Podcast, episode number 33.
Welcome to the show that focuses on helping real estate agents build a bulletproof business plan so that they can sell more properties in less time and live a more fulfilled life.
Hey, are you a real estate agent with an entrepreneurial spirit who wants to turn your job into a business without sacrificing your lifestyle, but you can't seem to find the right plan to help you get there? Well, then you're definitely in the right place. Hey, I'm Danny Griffin, the founder of the Realty Classroom and the host of this podcast. And to help you take immediate action to build a better real estate agent business, I've created a free jumpstart course for you over at freeagentgift.com. But today, I have something even bigger. In this episode, it's one of those rare occasions where I have a good close friend of mine. We've known each other for a long time, and he, I believe, is doing something really special in this industry. He's giving his best stuff away for free. Don't you love the sound of that? What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Agent Success Summit hosted by my good friend, Mike Cerrone. Hey, Mike, welcome. Let's get you in here with us.
Hey, Danny, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
You bet, brother. Listen, I have just been wild about this whole concept ever since you first came to me. But before I forget, I want to tell them right up front, how do they get at this thing, the Agent Success Summit? Where do they find it? Let's tell them up front so anybody has to bail out early on this interview. They're not lost.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, if you want to go to the summit, by the way, the summit is free. It's an online virtual training conference that goes over 7 days. You get 3 presentations a day. You can watch them anytime that you want. It's easy and convenient for you. If you want to do that, go to www.agentsuccesssummit.com/DG. Now, those are the initials for Danny Griffin, and that way we can track and see how many people are coming in with Danny, and we want to make sure that we treat you really well. So go over there to www.agentsuccesssummit.com/DG.
How about the guy showing me some love on my own show? Huh? I love it. No, look, you know where I stand. Just find this guy, okay? Find the Success Summit. I appreciate if you use our link. That way we can know more so. Mike and I, we just want to get the word out. We want to make sure agents know about this thing. This is killer. But my first question to you is, what in the heck made you start doing this summit? I mean, this is a massive endeavor. First of all, I can't remember how many years it's been. I lose count of the days of the week, let alone the years that are going by, Mike. But you started doing this a while ago. First of all, tell them how long ago and what started this all. Why would you do this? Because there's a lot to learn for you, even to put together one of these online summits.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's quite an endeavor. We've been doing this for 6 years. And so this is our 6th annual summit. It's been a lot of fun, but it is a tremendous amount of work. But the reason we're doing it is we want to give back to the industry. You know, the industry has been very successful and helpful to me and to you. We've gotten so much out of it. And I think at this point, we're kind of the old gray beards, and it's time for us to give back, right? And so I started to get this request a lot. You know, how can I learn more in a concentrated manner? And people were asking me to put on a conference, a physical conference, and I started to look into that and think about it, and it looked like a lot of fun. I've always enjoyed going off for, say, 3 or 4 days to a conference, but then I started thinking that's not going to be accessible to a lot of people because it's expensive and it's time-consuming. You know, you could spend a couple $1,000s on airplane tickets and hotel rooms and rental cars and food and the cost of attendance. And I said, you know, we got this incredible technology, this internet now. Why don't we do it virtually and just have people come in on their phone, and they can come in when they want. They can stay at home and get work done on their business. They can come in and learn how to make that business bigger and more successful. And so we had 3 goals with the summit. And that was, how can you get more leads, more clients, more closings? And that's what we focus on at the summit.
Yeah. You know, I harken back to 6 years ago. Attendance was probably in the hundreds, and now I know it's rolling up into the thousands. I mean, this is really starting to gain some ground. Is that right? Do I have my numbers accurately?
You have that
this
correct.
Thing's growing fast. Yeah.
Yeah, we typically have over 5,000 people attend now.
Yeah, wow. Boy, I'll tell you what, in the internet age, to get anybody's attention is hard enough, let alone have 5,000 people attend this thing. And I think that speaks to the content, right? So let's go a little bit deeper into what you said. What are you really hoping agents will get out of this? And maybe you can break down those beats you just hit a little bit and be more specific.
Sure. So the big picture is how to get more leads, more clients, and more closings, and that's what we want to continuously focus on. And I think sometimes it's better if I give you some examples. So this year's summit, we've got, again, 21 speakers. I even added a bonus speaker. It's really 22, and I'll come to that later. But to focus on the core of the summit, I think you can answer 3 questions that are common problems for agents, and that is lack of leads, lack of listings, and lack of a plan. Let me give you a couple examples. So if you have a problem, you don't have enough leads, right? You're always trying to get more and more leads. Well, we've got Michael J. Mayer is going to come in and talk about how to build an army of ambassadors, the complete, free, and easy system guaranteed to attract unpaid salespeople who love you, champion you, and refer you. And in there, you're going to learn how to get an endless stream of referrals. That's how he built his business. He'll show you, by the way, all these people that we're talking about are super successful in the real estate side, and then they've turned it into training. So he did, I think, 200 some closings a year after year based on referrals, and he's basically going to show you how he did that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Fire away.
I got a whole bunch of these. If you got to tell me if I go on too much, I get real excited here.
Let me bracket it though for them first.
Sure.
You say the magic word, and my part of this whole drill is to talk about that plan. And my doors are wide open. I've always believed this. I like being part of this. I don't have any mentality of scarcity. I've had some great mentors, and I've also studied other people that weren't in my world. I just believe that there are a lot of trainers that have a lot of good ideas. My endeavor is to pull it together and say, where does that guy or that gal's good idea belong in your modular approach to a planned out intentional business? So maybe you can give us a little bit of an idea of the variety too, Mike, contrasting to somebody who does referrals. Who else is presenting and why are they included in that, so that we can pull them together and people can begin to see how they can extract from each to build a better plan?
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, so let me give you a couple more ideas under lack of leads. And again, I can't go through all of them. There's just too many speakers.
Sure.
But we got Pat Hyben. He's going to be talking about how to sell every buyer that contacts you by creating a non-MLS property list. And so if you like working with buyers, attracting buyers, getting them into your world, this is a great way to do it and stand apart from the crowd. He talks about one of the teams that's using this strategy that earned $7 million in GCI last year and netted $2.4 million. They drew in a third of their business, 33% of their business, by talking to buyers about this non-MLS list. And so you get to learn all about that. A different concept, a different way to get leads. Joshua Smith, he's going to talk about the absolute must-know fundamentals to dominate Facebook and all online lead generation. So he's going to talk about how do you get these people off of Facebook and into your world. And he's actually out there in the trenches doing it. He invests about $9,000 a month in Facebook ads and closed 653 homes last year. So it's not theory. And you're going to be able to get in there with him and see how he sets up his ad manager and which way to split your testing and why to start with a small budget, say $5 a day, and how long to wait before declaring a winner and multiplying your success. So that's just a couple quick ideas on how to generate more leads. Do you want me to talk about how you can get more listings if you have a lack of listings?
Well, you know what? I think that's probably the sweet spot for most agents listening in, or it should be, in my opinion. I think too many of us hyper-focus only on the lead generation part of it, and we forget, what's the purpose? Well, we have an inventory business that is around listings. Without listings, there's no business. So I think that's probably one of the most overlooked. So tell us, what do you have in store for that?
You make a perfect point. Yeah, listings is the key to the game here for most agents. That's where the leverage. Well, lack of listings. So speakers we have talking about that. We got Mike Ferry, one of the longest lasting trainers in the industry, one of the big icons, been doing this for 40 years. And he's going to talk about listing property in today's highly competitive and unusual market. And he's going to go through the steps to becoming a strong listing agent. And he's going to be basing that and talking about some of the top agents that he works with who are listing 150 to 175 listings per year. So it's really cool, very concentrated, big picture stuff there. And then you start boiling it down. We've got other speakers like Haas Pratt, who's going to talk about how he took 30 listings in 30 days. He's going to show you how he did it and how you can do it too. So you're going to learn how to ramp up fast, how to focus on now business, how to get those listings that are right there, ripe to do something right now. And you're going to learn the 5 fastest ways to get now listings, 4 steps to lead conversion, and 3 questions you need to use with every seller to pre-qualify them. And then we also have Willie Miranda, which I believe you mentioned earlier, and he's going to be talking about getting more listings in a seller's market. We get these fast markets moving really, really quick. How do we pick up those listings so that we can get into that market? Well, he's going to talk about getting those sellers into your world. He's going to talk about the 9 sources that he uses to generate seller listings that are often overlooked by other agents. And you're going to get to see his VIP seller presentation, which is really, really awesome. So those are a couple of examples of things that you can learn at the summit if you go in there and you're looking for listings. And again, by the way, I don't want to forget this in case people are listening and you want to write it down and you missed it earlier. Go to www.agentsuccesssummit.com/DG for Danny Griffin.
Yeah, awesome. You mentioned a lot of these names. Haas is a good friend. Willie's a super close friend. I mean, we go way back to coaching together at Craig Proctor's organization for years. And Proctor was, in turn, trained by Mike Ferry for many years and was one of Mike's superstars. I actually coached somebody who does both Mike's training and my Realty Classroom mastermind. I'll say this thousands of times. Man, there's just a lot of smart people in and around the training in the real estate industry. There's a lot of up-and-comers. I don't know them. I'm always looking forward to be open-minded and seeing what distinctions they're making. So I just can't say enough about, number one, approaching something like this with an open mind. That's my biggest piece of advice, Mike, is that they come into this summit and they just open up their minds. But let me help you have a little bit of a cheat sheet. When you look at your own business, the way to consume something that is so comprehensive, you look at Mike. Mike has to talk 10 miles an hour just to get in a few of these guys, right? So, or I should say 100 miles an hour just to get in a few of these short little descriptions of what's going to happen. So how do you consume something like this, especially when it's online and you know how that entrepreneurial ADD kicks in and 1 minute you're focused and the next minute the phone's ringing and you're trying to close a deal. I get it. But here's what I would do. I would take a cheat sheet. At the Realty Classroom, what we do is we break management into modules. Thank goodness for Michael Gerber's book, The E-Myth, because I learned how to be tripolar without tripping on myself. Meaning, people get out of bed, Mike, and they're excited to have a vision for a business that works, but they run right down and do the technical work of selling. And they never take time, like your summit, to sit still and try to give birth to the management brain, to be able to say, hey, you know what? What's most important for me to manage in my business? I know that everybody might move towards referrals or might move towards leads or whatever it is that they might move towards, but you have to be honest with yourself. What's most important to you to be managed? Would you agree with that? I mean, are there any other tips and tricks that you would give them to consume this summit? Are there anything they should know about how to slowly go through it, quickly go through it? What do you think?
That's a really good question. And I just got to tell you, I think it's sometimes just diving into the pool. You dive in the pool, you surround yourself with all these great ideas, and there are going to be ones that percolate up and they resonate with you. They make you say, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. That makes sense to me. And those are the ones you should dive into. But if you don't dive into the pool and surround yourself with those ideas to start with, you don't even know they're out there. Right. And that's why I think you got to check out things like the summit and take a little bit of time away from your daily practice, your heartbeat of trying to get all those phone calls in and talk to all the people that you need to talk to. And you and I know how crazy the real estate industry can be. You got to step back every once in a while and look at a bigger picture.
You have to be careful not to become a junkie, right? I mean,
That's true
you do.
too, yeah.
I mean, I call them lead squirrels. Everybody's talking about leads, and they stuff the tree full, only to find out that in the wintertime, they can't even get in to get warm. Right?
Right.
So, look, just think. But I like what you just said. Dive into this guy's chicken soup of a summit, and listen. Sit back and listen, and have that subconscious mind kind of talking to the ideas and bubbling it up like a soup, or I like to say that cream will rise to the top very quickly. All right. So, buddy, remind them what the cost of this is and how they access it one more time. Okay, go ahead.
Hold on, Dave. I want to talk about one more thing, because I mentioned to everybody I would talk about 3 ideas, and I want to mention one more real quick. And I know I'm kind of rambling on, but the idea of a lack of a plan. Yeah, I'm good at rambling for sure. Yeah. So the idea of lack of a plan. So a couple speakers who are going to talk about it. If your challenge right now is you can't keep it together in your head and keep it all straight, Amy Stair is going to talk about a snapshot business plan for performance and profit. And she's going to get into that practical business plan, but based on your vision, values, and mission. So, from your heart and your soul and your beliefs, how can you bring that out into your business plan and make it work? She's going to talk about the 8 facets of this snapshot business plan, this wheel of business, and an in-depth look at how you can take financials and turn that into how you can affect your success. We got another speaker. We got Jeff Cohn. He's going to be talking about stop selling and start building a business. And in there, you're going to learn about, the fact that sometimes what you just mentioned, you're going to get so stuck in doing the day-to-day that you forget to step back and actually grow this thing out a little bit so that it can start taking over, so you can take some time off. He's going to get into his class system, which is culture, leads, accountability, systems, and strategies, and how you can build that up. His buyer agents are averaging over 30 closings per year. So if you're a team leader and you want to get people up to those kind of levels, you can check that out. 2/3 of the business is coming from their own leads. So if you're tired of having to feel like you're handing out leads all the time, this is a great session for you. Plus, he learned how to zero base his staff. You want to check that out. Not zero basing marketing, but staff. And anyway, that's a really cool session. And what I'm trying to get to, Danny, is one of my favorite sessions. And that is with you, Danny Griffin. And you're going to be talking about, are you practicing real estate without a plan? Danny is just a master at getting these, you guys probably already know this because you listen to him all the time, but getting these big picture ideas, stepping back and looking at this huge view and being able to narrow down into that nitty gritty, get a little dirty, shake it up a little bit, and then come back up and look at that big picture again and map it out. And he goes through it again in this session. And it's so awesome. So in there, you're going to discover why prospects choose to work with you and how to convert more leads into clients. You're going to see it from a macro and a micro perspective. And then also he's going to show you something I thought was super special, and that was these little mini presentations for buyers and sellers that can get them to hire you on the spot. Just a one-page document that you can use to show them exactly how the process is going to work so that you can focus on them instead of trying to make some presentation. And I'll mention one other quick thing. We have some people that are able to go in and check out the presentations early. And we had one guy go in there and he said, Mike, this is amazing. He sent me an email and said, Mike, Danny Griffin is truly remarkable. His presentation is not only inspiring, but he hits the hammer on the nail on how we can run our real estate business as entrepreneurs. So make it a point to bring him back for the 2019. They're already asking you to come back next year, Danny, for 2019 Agent Success Summit. Kudos to you, Anthony Mellos. So I just wanted to let you know, we've got that idea. If you need to create a plan, we've got these masters like Danny that are in there, and they can help you with that as well.
Well, like you said, you and I are the gray beards at this point. Thank you for the ridiculously unselfish, shameless plug for Danny Griffin, whoever that guy is. Hey, listen, if you give us one little bullet point line, why this place for the agents? Why? Why do they need to attend? Well, summarize that.
You don't have to attend, but if you do, you're going to just help advance yourself and move yourself a little more forward. It's just one step at a time, right? So the thing I like to tell people is you just got to keep moving forward. You don't know where the path is going to open up, but as long as you keep going towards the direction that you want, things are going to happen. And this summit is that kind of thing. It's going to open up some doors for you, show you some things you might not have thought about before on how to generate some more leads or more listings or get more organized. organized in your plan. And if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, the summit is a place you can learn it. And again, I think you asked me earlier, and I kind of went on my little tangent, but I'll mention that the way you can get there is you can go to www.agentsuccesssummit.com/DG for Danny Griffin. And when you do that, you can read up about the summit, make sure it looks right for you. And when you do, we're going to ask for your email address so that we can send you out your access link and you can get into the summit. The summit, though, is absolutely free. Again, it goes over 7 days. You get 3 sessions a day. You can watch them anytime during the day. We just open it up so that you can use it for your schedule that day. That's absolutely free. If you choose to, you can get these recordings for your library, and there's a little fee to do that if you choose to. It's not required. It's totally optional. But go in there and check out the summit. Learn this information from the people. As you mentioned, Danny, take lots and lots of notes while it's going on. They are in video format so that you can go forward and go backwards and stop and pause and check it out. Something you can't do at a live summit, conference, but you can do it with this virtual one. And it's a lot of fun. Every year we get so many people that just love it, and they feel that it's pushed their business forward, that little extra step to get them going. I'm real excited. By the way, I want to give one order, a little session that you'll see there if you go. It's just really remarkable. I just met this person. Her name is Joy Russell, and she's going to be talking about how I sold 96 homes last year as a solo agent while only working 6 months out of the year. You're going to get to discover how Joy earns an amazing income, travels around the world 6 months out of the year, and does it all as an independent agent. And the amazing part to me is Joy thinks that any agent can model her approach and duplicate that success if they just put themselves down to it and create a system for it. So this summit is full of amazing information if that's the kind of thing that you want. And as you mentioned, Danny, you got to make sure you're not a junkie. You don't go crazy on it. You never do anything with it. So you do have to take some action. But if you're looking for new ideas and fresh approaches, this is a place to get it at the summit. Just go to www.agentsuccesssummit.com/DG.
Listen, if you're not feeling enthusiasm for the real estate agent business, then you plug into this guy, Mike Cerrone, and his Agent Success Summit. Come on, man, listen to the guy's passion. I mean, this guy wants to talk to me for a whole hour, and you know me. I could talk for 3 with this cat right here. Get up off your couch, go log in, get yourself set up. You have 22 people giving you their best stuff for nada. That's free, okay? Get over there. It just doesn't get better than this when somebody that is this selfless takes their time to give this stuff away. You can definitely walk away, I believe, and that's why I participate, with pragmatic, actionable, right now stuff, all right? So look it. If you like what you learned here, then we'd appreciate if you would share these insights with other entrepreneurial real estate agents, just like all of us, so that they can find their way here and especially right now to this summit, all right? Don't forget to subscribe or follow us on whichever platform you're listening. And of course, a positive review is always appreciated. Wink, wink, if you love us. If you don't, let me know personally, and we'll bring you better content, okay? We also broadcast our live sales training on Facebook every Friday at 1 o'clock. We give it away. So remember to like our page over there so you won't miss the notifications. Hey, thanks for listening. And Mike Cerrone, thank you, brother. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Danny. This is so much fun, and I really appreciate you. You've always given back to the industry. I've always been so impressed with the way you present information. It's so easy to learn from you, and you're so optimistic, and you get that information out there so it makes sense. Thank you so much, Danny.
Well, let's leave on that optimistic note, all right? All right, everybody, have a fabulous summit. We'll see you there.
You've been listening to The Realty Classroom with Danny Griffin. Join us next time to continue learning how to build a smarter real estate agent business plan that helps you live a more fulfilled life.